Have you ever been there? You're in this amazing Arabic market, you see something you absolutely love, but you just don't have the words. Well, today we are going to fix that. We're taking one short piece of dialogue and turning it into your secret weapon for shopping. Let's dive in.
Okay, so take a look. This is our script. It might not look like much, right? But believe me, packed into these few lines is basically a complete toolkit for your next shopping adventure. We're going to break it all down together so you'll be navigating that souk, that's the market, like a pro.
All right, let's do a little role playing. I want you to picture this. You're smack in the middle of a bustling market. You've got vendors calling out, the smell of spices, it's all happening. And from right now, you're not just watching. You are the shopper. Your name is Zainab, and you've got your eye on something. And there it is. You see the perfect pair of sunglasses. But wait a minute, there's no price tag. That's super common, by the way. In a lot of markets, the price isn't just listed, it's the beginning of a conversation. So knowing how to ask, that's your first mission. Let's figure out exactly how to do that.
So this brings us to what is probably the most important phrase you're going to learn today. This is the magic key that opens up pretty much any conversation about buying something. And here you have it. Become. That's it. 2 little syllables. Say it with me. Become. Perfect. That one word is your golden ticket. It just means how much, and you can literally use it for anything, anywhere. Okay, so it's great on its own. But let's see how become fits into a real sentence. Zainab says, La samahti, become a nadara di. The la samahti part is just a polite, excuse me, the version you'd use for a woman. Then bam, right in the middle is our key phrase, followed by what she's asking about, an nadara di, these glasses. See how it just slots right in? Super simple. So what else is on her shopping list? She's also curious about a camera, a bag, a pen, and even a lighter. It's good to get familiar with these words because they're going to pop up again in a second. All right, let's see what the seller says back. So you've asked the big question. Awesome. But now comes part 2, understanding the answer. Let's get into these numbers and figure out what the seller is actually telling you. First up, the glasses. The seller replies, khamsin. That means 50. Now listen closely to the end of that word. Khamsin. Hear that? That een sound is a huge clue in Arabic. It often tells you you're dealing with a multiple of 10. It's a really neat pattern to listen for. Okay, what about the camera? The price for that is tasin, which is 90. And listen, there it is again, that een at the end. See, you're already starting to pick up on the patterns. This is exactly how you start to really hear the language. And the bag? The seller says talata was sab'een, 73. Now this is where it gets really cool, a great little insight into how Arabic numbers work. You actually say the single digit first, talata, which is 3. Then wa, which just means and then the tens number, sab'een, 70. So you're literally saying 3 and 70. Kind of the reverse of how we do it in English, right? And this table just lays it all out perfectly for us. You've got the item, you've got the price, and check out those last 2. The pen is itnin wanos, 2.5, and the lighter, sita warobor, 6.25. Using fractions like half and quarter when talking about prices is super common. Honestly, this is a great slide to just pause on for a second and let it all soak in. All right, you've got all the info, the prices are in. Now comes the moment of truth. Decision time. So, what are you, as Zainab, going to buy?
And there we have it, the decision is made. طيب, عايز القلم والولاعة من فضلك. Let's pull that apart. طيب is just a really natural way to say okay or all right. Ayaz means I want. Simple. Then you just name the items. And you finish it off with that polite little phrase we all need, min fadlak, please.
So the pen and the lighter are on the counter. You've said what you want. You've said please. We're almost there. There's just one last thing to do before you pay. And for this part, I'm going to need your help.
The seller asks, elf hisab kam, which is pretty much, so what's the total? So I'm asking you, what is the total? Do some quick mental math. You got this.
Okay, let's walk through it. The pen was 2.5, right? So 250. The lighter was 6.25 or 6.25. So all we've got to do is add those 2 together. And the grand total is 875. 78.75. Yes, you nailed it. Think about that for a second. You just walked through an entire purchase in Arabic, from asking the price to getting the final total. Amazing.
So let's just quickly recap the absolute essentials, your new shopping toolkit. You've got become, how much? You've got عايز, I want. You've got من فضلك, please. And الحساب كم, what's the total? Seriously, with just those 4 in your back pocket, you are good to go.
And that's it. We've taken what looks like just a few lines of text and turned them into a real-world skill you can actually go out and use. So now that you're armed with the basics, I've got one last question for you to think about. What's the very first thing you'd buy?